What are obvious immediate giveaways that someone is an American? British man once told me he knew I was American because I was wearing a baseball cap backwards. Teeth. Americans are all about cosmetic dentistry and orthodontics. The ones that aren't are probably not able to easily afford international travel, so we don't see a lot of Americans without perfectly aligned, iridescent white teeth. Talking to strangers. Americans absolutely love talking to strangers, and when this clashes with the British imperative to avoid talking to strangers, I find it kind of hilarious. I quite enjoy when I see Americans on the tube in London, prattling away to British commuters who look like they are dying inside. Flip-flops/sandals. In warm weather you'll see Americans wearing leather flip-flops. As a flip-flop connoisseur, I'm Australian, I spot the American-style flip-flops a mile away. Dude, man, hey, how are ya? The accent. Tipping. Talking to strangers in public. After living in Germany for 2 months I was horrified when a stranger on the bus commented on my shoes. I'm Canadian. Generally Americans are far less reserved and love small talk. Remember, the top comment on today's video will make it into tomorrow's video. Be sure to answer the question in the comments below. Pre-COVID having hand sanitizer clipped to their backpack. Not sure that's still as accurate today. Ranch. When they say they are in Europe and not France, Germany etc. they either carry huge backpacks for a one-day trip into the jungle or carry nothing and walk in barefooted. My friend, Australian, walked into a McDonald's in the US and there was a man sitting at one of the tables reading a Bible and openly wearing a gun around his waist. That is a uniquely American combination. I said you all when I went to Europe. Immediately outed myself. Edit, a word. Edit 2, it was England. Volume, gleaming white teeth, using the words restroom, sneakers and soda. Having a private conversation that everyone within 20 meters can hear. Claiming that they don't have an accent, when literally everybody has an accent. When they're in another country, vacation, business etc., when a local asks them where they're from they say their state instead of their country. I'm sorry but not many people in Brazil know what a Delaware is. Talking about American laws before asking what country you live in. When they talk about the two kinds of political ideologies. To be fair, I've said the US or America to people in foreign countries asking where I'm from and they always say yeah obviously, but where in the US? The volume of their voice. Every time I'm with my American friends I am shocked at how loud they are. Trying to communicate with other languages by just speaking English but slowly and making way too much hand gestures. Aluminum. Online. Referring to an organization called the National such and such. National to which nation? Deliberating whether or not to go to the hospital after a serious injury. Covering things with assorted cheeses of the liquid persuasion. British lady once told me she knew I was American because I was drinking a Coke straight from the can, no straw. I'm an American that works for an international company. Europeans are often amused by how we describe distances. Instead of saying, we're X number of miles from that city, we'll say, we're 2 hours away. Or that's a 4-hour drive. They're also universally blown away once they realize how big the US is. DL, doctor, it's pretty straightforward to blend in as an American if you can keep your damn mouth shut. If the U on their keyboard is dusty, you'll hear them before you see them. As my Mexican wife says, you Americans will talk to anyone. Just walk right up and before you know it they are your buddy from so-and-so place and you are going off with them for a while. I am German, and when a woman told me about a sinkhole in their hometown, they said, I don't know what you measure in. So it was the size of about 2 McDonald's restaurants. That woman is now my fiancée. I love how basically all Americans are loud and friendly. I'm not ashamed. Cargo shorts. Usually they talk very loudly, even if they're next to each other. When they walk around like they just slammed a space probe into an asteroid. They scream yeehaw you and shoot to the air. Soccer and football. Talking about only two political ideologies that can never change or intermingle. They're loud but friendly and will strike up a conversation with a random stranger for no apparent reason. Saving this so I can better hide. Sorry Americans, but in any room, busy or not, your voices are super present. Maybe your culture that rewards extroversion is the reason, but you can spot Americans by simply hearing your vocal roller coasters. You can't help but listen and get drawn in by the loud and constant ups and downs in tones. Saying the temperature is 100 degrees. So as an African I used to believe America was hotter than Africa till I learned that it was in Fahrenheit not Celsius. Edit, little me used to think those people were melting out there lol. As a Canadian I'd say being friendly and outgoing. People are reserved and often kind of rude in big cities here. Despite the stereotype. Very straightforward. Deleted. The volume. Speaking far too loud in public places when it's inappropriate to do so. Does my nut in? It's not all bad with them though. They're also friendly and hospitable, the first to run to your aid if you're in trouble. I love Americans, but keep the noise down a bit, yeah? Smile.